Kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi là Diệu Quyên. Ngày hôm nay rất hân hạnh có mặt cùng với quý vị. Chúng ta tưởng niệm cũng như là ghi ơn 50 năm. Diệu Quyên xin trân trọng kính chào quý vị.
Yalina xin kính chào quý vị. Hello Vietnamese Americans. I am so proud to be here. I'm so happy to see all of you. Wishing you peace and love. And I hope you feel the pride that I feel looking down at all of you now.
All right, so at this time, we will move on to the presentation of callers. And for that purpose, we'd like to ask Mr. Ding Quang Chuột to please come up to the stage to direct the presentation of the Vietnamese Color Guards.
Và kính thưa quý vị, sau đây là lễ rước quốc và quân kỳ Hoa Kỳ cũng như Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Chúng tôi kính mời ông Lê Quang Chuột lên để điều hành phần chào cờ ngày hôm nay.
Đinh Quang Chuột hân hoan chào đón toàn thể quý vị đã đến tham dự buổi lễ tưởng niệm Quốc hận năm thứ 50. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you for your presence here to attend the commemoration day of the Black April 50. Và bây giờ kính mời toàn thể quý vị đứng lên nghiêm chỉnh hướng về kỳ đài để cử hành nghi thức khai mạc. Ladies and
Please
gentlemen,
stand.
please stand up to celebrate the opening ceremony. Tất cả chú ý. Nghiêm! Lễ rước quốc quân kỳ. Liên quân chào tay. Chào. Toán quốc quân kỳ tiến vào vị trí hành lễ. Liên quân Phúc. Lễ chào quốc kỳ quốc gia Việt Nam, the National Anthem of the Republic of Vietnam. Súng chào bắt. Quốc ca Việt Nam Cộng Hòa bắt đầu. Thượng kỳ.
Xin mời ban hợp xướng Ngàn Khơi với quốc ca Việt Nam.
Đi
Điểm súng xuống. Lễ tiễn quốc quân kỳ. Liên quân chào tay chào. Toán quốc quân kỳ rời vị trí hành lễ.
We would like to thank Mr. Đinh Quang Chuột.
Liên quân phất thao diễn nghị nghiêm. Hàng quân danh dự rời vị trí hành lễ. Trái phải quay. Đằng trước bước.
Thank you to the Vietnamese veterans for the presentation of the Vietnamese colors.
Và sau đây sẽ là phần chào quốc kỳ Hoa Kỳ.
For the presentation of colors of the United States Color Guard, we would like to ask the Navy Medicine Readiness Training Command San Diego Color Guard to please advance. Please welcome Miss Elizabeth La, who will perform the United States National Anthem. Elizabeth La.
Thưa quý vị, cô Elizabeth La sẽ trình bày quốc ca Hoa Kỳ.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, love bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color Guard, retire the colors. Thank you to the Color Guard from the Navy Medicine Readiness Training Command, San Diego. At this time, we'd like to introduce Mr. Paul Ward and Mr. Ding Quan Truett. Back on the stage, please, for the invocation. Mr. Paul Ward and Mr. Ding Quan Truett.
Kính thưa toàn thể quý vị, trong giờ phút linh thiêng của lễ tưởng niệm Quốc hận năm thứ 50, chúng ta cùng tưởng nhớ đến các dân, quân, cán chính Việt Nam Cộng Hòa và các chiến sĩ đồng minh đã hy sinh trong cuộc chiến Việt Nam để bảo vệ chính nghĩa tự do của miền Nam Việt Nam. Các đồng bào đã bỏ mình trong rừng sâu, nơi biển cả để đi tìm tự do từ sau ngày giặc Cộng cưỡng chiếm miền Nam. Các quân cán chính Việt Nam Cộng Hòa và các chiến sĩ đồng minh đã hy sinh trong cuộc chiến để bảo vệ miền Nam Việt Nam. Các quân cán chính Việt Nam Cộng Hòa đã bị chết thảm trong các trại tù khổ sai của Việt Cộng. Và đặc biệt, chúng ta cùng tưởng nhớ đến cố Thiếu tướng Nguyễn Khoa Nam, cố Thiếu tướng Phạm Văn Phú, cố Chuẩn tướng Lê Văn Hưng, cố Chuẩn tướng Trần Văn Hai, cố Chuẩn tướng Lê Nguyên Vĩ, cố Đại tá Hồ Ngọc Cẩn, cố Trung tá Cảnh sát Quốc gia Nguyễn Văn Long và còn biết bao quân cán chính các cấp đã can đảm tuẫn tiết quyết không đầu hàng quân Việt Cộng trong tháng Tư đen năm 1975.
At this time, we pause to reflect upon the thousands of yellow ribbons that adorn the flight deck of the USS Midway, as we remember the more than 58,000 American men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for the price of freedom. Let us remember the hundreds of thousands of South Vietnamese service personnel and civilians who lost their lives in the fight for freedom. Let us remember the hundreds of thousands of South Vietnamese boat people who never made it to freedom while trying to escape to sea. Let us always remember and honor the courage, the determination, the sacrifices of these individuals for the cause of freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of silence. Thank you very much.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please remain at your seats and direct your attention to the large video screens to view the laying of the wreaths.
Xin quý vị hãy đứng ngay tại chỗ và chú ý lên màn hình để theo dõi lễ đặt vòng hoa.
The wreath laying will be presented by American Vietnam War veterans who are Midway volunteers and Vietnamese military veterans Su A Cầu and Nguyễn Văn Lực. Throughout history, the wreath-laying ceremony is intended to show our eternal gratitude and respect for those who have given their life in service to their country.
Trong suốt chiều dài lịch sử, nghi lễ đặt vòng hoa nhằm thể hiện lòng biết ơn và sự tôn trọng vĩnh cửu của chúng ta đối với những người đã hy sinh mạng sống để phục vụ cho quê hương, Tổ quốc. Thưa quý vị, hãy nhìn lên bầu trời để chứng kiến nghi lễ tưởng niệm những chiến sĩ, những chiến binh mất tích trong cuộc chiến.
I hope you saw our missing man fly over. Please be seated. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce to you Rear Admiral Terry Craft. Rear Admiral Terry Craft was raised as the son of a Navy captain and graduated from the United States Naval Academy in 1981. He was a federal executive fellow at Harvard University Kennedy School of Government. His many, many commands include Electronic Attack Squadron 131, the USS Shreveport, the USS Ronald Reagan, the Enterprise Carrier Strike Group 12, as well as the United States Naval Forces Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, he is now the CEO of the United States USS Midway Museum. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rear Admiral Terry Craft.
Good morning, everyone. I can't tell you how great all of you look today sitting out there on board the flight deck of this amazing museum. I just want to be one of the first to welcome you on board America's living symbol of freedom today for this very important commemoration ceremony. I'd also like to extend a special welcome to many of our distinguished guests who are down on my left. Congressman Derek Tran is here from Orange County. San Diego City Council member Ken Lee, San Diego County Supervisor Monica Montgomery Stepp, and our own Jordan Marks, who's the county assessor here in San Diego, is here. That's the political side, but it just goes on and on. You're going to hear later from retired Rear Admiral Lawrence Chambers, Midway's commanding officer during Operation Frequent Wind, and our hero on board the USS Midway, and another hero, former South Vietnamese Air Force pilot Bung Lee, who's also here with a lot of his family. You're going to hear their amazing stories here shortly. We have members of our local Navy and Marine Corps leadership on board, our distinguished friends from the Vietnamese American community, especially our own Midway board member, who has played such a key role in setting up this event, Dr. Pha Lee. Dr. Lee, please raise your hand over there. A lot of former Midway sailors, many of whom were on board during Operation Frequent Wind, and all our U.S. and South Vietnamese military veterans. I think I covered everybody. Welcome aboard. It is my great honor to kick this off this morning for our Legacy of Hope commemoration. 50 years ago today, this ship, along with 40 other U.S. Navy ships, were positioned off the coast of South Vietnam to launch the largest humanitarian operation ever undertaken in U.S. military history. Known as Operation Frequent Wind, this mission of mercy was responsible for evacuating more than 7,000 South Vietnamese citizens and American government officials out of Saigon as the North Vietnamese Army was attacking the city. It was, without question, one of the most chaotic and difficult experiences for many of those in attendance with us today. but due to the incredible bravery and courage displayed by so many South Vietnamese and equally incredible acts of kindness extended by the crew of the USS Midway, nearly 3,100 evacuees evacuated here were safely flown to Midway and to the start of their new lives of freedom in the United States. Let's all understand, those South Vietnamese who were forced to flee Saigon 50 years ago never wanted to leave. They love their country and still do, as you can clearly see here today. Yet they knew that if they stayed behind, their lives and the lives of their families would have been in great jeopardy. Coming to a new country, even with the help provided to them by the U.S. government and countless charitable organizations, was extremely difficult. A new place, a completely different culture and language, unusual foods, and separation from other family members all were significant challenges that they overcome. But through fearless determination and resilience, these new Americans and their children have not just survived, but thrived. I think you can tell that by the numbers here today. These numbers attest to that and their accomplishments over the last 50 years that have made this country even stronger. You're going to hear some amazing stories today from so many of them, and I can't hear it enough. As a former Midway aviator, I'm so proud of the selfless performance of the sailors who were serving on this ship during Operation Frequent Wind, many of them here today, 5 decades ago, as thousands of scared and traumatized South Vietnamese refugees landed on the very flight deck at the very spots that you are sitting in right now. No one trained the Midway crew for this event, but they knew instinctively what was the right thing to do. They comforted the families arriving on Midway, many with only the shirts on their backs. These sailors represented the best of what America stood for in 1975 and continues to stand for to this day. Again, thanks all of you for joining us here at Midway so that we can share and commemorate together the courage, heroism, and compassion that took place on this ship 50 years ago. Today is a great day on Midway. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rear Admiral Terry Craft.
Và kính thưa quý vị, sau đây chúng tôi xin giới thiệu cùng quý vị ông Châu Thụy. Ông Châu Thụy là chủ tịch của Bảo tàng Viện Di sản Việt Nam, là một trong những người đi đầu trong công tác bảo vệ di sản văn hóa qua công trình mà ông và các thành viên của Bảo tàng Viện Di sản Việt Nam đã và đang thực hiện. Xin quý vị cùng chúng tôi một tràng pháo tay tiếp đón ông Châu Thụy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Châu Thuy, who is the president of the Vietnamese Heritage Museum and a leader in historical preservation in the United States for the Vietnamese American communities. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Châu Thuy.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Vietnamese Heritage Museum, I extend our deepest gratitude to the USS Midway Museum for partnering with us to co-host this historic event, commemorating the 50th anniversary of the fall of the Republic of Vietnam and Operation Frequent Wind. 50 years ago, our homeland was overtaken by the communist regime. In the aftermath, 100,000 of Vietnamese was forced to flee, leaving behind everything they knew and loved, in search of freedom, dignity, and the future for their children. Their journey was filled with peril and uncertainty. Many perished at the sea or in the jungles, but those survived carried with them a burning hope, an enduring belief in liberty. Half a century have passed, and from the ashes of war, the Vietnamese refugee community have risen with resilience and strength. Across the world, especially here in the United States, we have rebuilt our lives, preserved our identity, and passed on our children the enduring value of freedom, family, and faith. Today, we do not only remember the fall, but we honor the courage it gave rise to. We honor those fell, those who fled, and those who welcome. The American servicemen and women who fought and sacrificed alongside of the Republic of Vietnam. The refugees who began anew in the foreign land. The citizens of this great country who opened their heart to us. We are here together because of them. Now, with your permission, I would like to speak to my fellow Vietnamese. Kính thưa quý đồng bào, xin gửi lời chào chân quý đến quý vị từ khắp nơi trên thế giới, từ các tiểu bang xa xôi trên đất Mỹ, cho đến những người con của quê hương Việt Nam. Dù khoảng cách địa lý xa xôi, nhưng tình cảm và tấm lòng của quý vị luôn gần gũi với trái tim của chúng tôi. Hôm nay, Viện Bảo tàng Di sản Người Việt vinh dự được chính thức đồng tổ chức sự kiện trọng đại này cùng Viện Bảo tàng USS Midway. Chúng tôi xin chân thành tỏ ơn chân thành đến các nhà bảo trợ, đoàn thể, giới truyền thông và hàng trăm thiện nguyện viên đã góp công sức để ngày hôm nay được thành tựu tốt đẹp. Chúng tôi xin mời tất cả các thiện nguyện viên đứng lên. Volunteer, please rise. Please give them a big round of applause. Từ năm 2016, Viện Bảo tàng Di sản Người Việt đã hoạt động với sứ mệnh gìn giữ lịch sử, văn hóa và ngôn ngữ của người Việt tị nạn. Không chỉ là nơi lưu giữ hiện vật, tư liệu, mà còn là một trung tâm giáo dục. Các thế hệ mai sau hiểu được quá khứ đau thương, trân trọng tự do hiện tại và không bao giờ quên được những hy sinh của cha ông. 50 năm là một cột mốc lớn, không chỉ để tưởng niệm, mà để suy gẫm và cam kết chúng ta cùng nhau nhìn lại những thành tựu đã đạt được và cùng thắp sáng một ý chí mới để tiếp tục con đường xây dựng tương lai. Một tương lai mà người Việt ở bất cứ nơi đâu sẽ cùng sống trong tự do, nhân phẩm và hòa bình. Chúng ta đã kiên cường tồn tại và phát triển trên quê hương thứ hai này. Với niềm tin đó, chúng ta không bao giờ đánh mất hy vọng, hướng về một quê hương tự do và nhân bản. Ngọn lửa đấu tranh cho dân chủ vẫn còn cháy. Và chính các bạn trẻ hôm nay, những người sinh ra trong tự do, sẽ là người giữ lửa. Thế hệ trẻ sẽ là nhịp cầu nối giữa quá khứ và tương lai. Các bạn không chỉ là niềm hy vọng, mà còn là những người sẽ viết tiếp trang lịch sử. Các bạn sẽ là những nhà lãnh đạo, những nhà giáo dục, và những người gìn giữ văn hóa, và những người dám mơ, dám làm. Chúng ta có mặt hôm nay không phải để than khóc, mà để tuyên bố rằng chúng ta vẫn còn đó, rằng ký ức không thể bị xóa mờ, rằng dân tộc chúng ta dù phải xa quê hương vẫn chưa bao giờ mất đi bản sắc và khát vọng, và rằng chúng ta sẽ không ngừng đấu tranh cho một ngày mai tươi sáng hơn, không chỉ cho mình và cả cho những thế hệ chưa được sinh ra.
USS Midway Museum.
Kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi xin hân hạnh giới thiệu cùng quý vị một nhân vật chính trong buổi tổ chức ngày hôm nay, đó là bác sĩ Pha Lê. Vâng, thưa quý vị, bác sĩ Pha Lê là thành viên của Hội đồng Quản trị USS Midway. Xin quý vị cùng chúng tôi lắng nghe lời chia sẻ của ông sau đây.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the USS Midway Museum, America's living symbol of freedom, to commemorate this defining moment in history. Cảm ơn cộng đồng Việt Nam đã tới để giữ lễ tưởng niệm hôm nay. As I stand before you, I am grateful to be able to stand on the shoulders of heroes who have served and sacrificed so that I may have the opportunity to live my life as an American. I am a proud Vietnamese American emergency medicine physician and a member of the board of directors of this great museum. I'm also the son and the son-in-law of former South Vietnamese Naval Academy graduates and naval officers. I am the former refugee who escaped with my parents on a boat in 1982. And now I am the proud father of a son who is attending the United States Naval Academy. So this moment cannot have more meaning than it does right here, right now. So today, I hope our team can bring you a day that gives you pride in the service to your country, a day that will help you heal your wounds, both those seen and those hidden from the world, and a day that will allow for all of us to be grateful to be part of a community that values freedom. Yes, freedom is what you fought for. Freedom is why my parents risked everything. And freedom is what allowed 125,000 Vietnamese refugees in 1975 to gain a foothold, to pursue dreams, to build and to rise into one of the most formidable communities in America. So today, over the next few hours, we aim to commemorate the heroic actions that saved thousands. We will also bring you a program that highlights courage, resilience, and hope. Our shared journey together through the past 50 years has shaped the Vietnamese American community and contributed greatly to the fabric of this wonderful country. Through this program, we hope to preserve this legacy and inspire future generations for the next 50 years and beyond. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here to share this time with us. And now, I would like to welcome back to the podium Anh Châu Thủy and chị Kim Trang to address the Vietnamese community that have been invited here.
Hello again. Now I would like to acknowledge the organization that came together to make this event such a remarkable success. First, USS Midway, and give them a big hand. So Viện Bảo tàng USS Midway, Viện Bảo tàng Heritage Museum, Viện Bảo tàng Di sản người Việt, Vietnamese Community of San Diego, Vietnamese Historical and Cultural Performing Arts of San Diego. Where are you? Văn Lang Vietnamese Center, Vietnamese American Youth Allies. Và kế đến là những nhà bảo trợ, the sponsor Đỗ Phủ Anh Tuấn, APLC, tổ hợp luật sư Đỗ Phủ Anh Tuấn, InnoFly, A1 Top World Product Incorporation, bác sĩ Phạm Hoàng Trung, Essential Design Innovator. And today, special recognize the VSM Major Donor, Miss Nguyễn Nghĩa. Nancy, mời chị Nghĩa đứng lên ạ. Rồi chị.
Xin kính chào toàn thể quý vị. Xin kính chào toàn thể quý vị. Chúng tôi xin được đọc tiếp danh sách của những vị không gọi là mạnh thường quân Nhưng những tấm lòng này là những tấm lòng vàng, phải nói là còn hơn mạnh thường quân nữa, thưa anh Châu Thủy. Xin phép quý vị cho chúng tôi được giới thiệu các quý vị mà anh chị em đã từng cộng tác và phải nói là bao nhiêu ngày tháng nay, kể từ tháng 9 năm ngoái cho đến bây giờ đã hết sức làm việc để cho cái buổi mà lễ tưởng niệm ngày hôm nay được thành công như thế này. Tổng cộng cái số giờ mà phải nói là trên 6.000 giờ, thưa quý vị. Tất cả chúng tôi bỏ vào đây để làm việc ngày đêm. Trước hết, chúng tôi xin được phép để nói với tiếng Anh vì có những người ngoại quốc ở đây đó. Xin phép quý vị cho tôi phép nói tiếng Anh. We would like to acknowledge people who have provided significant efforts to this event since September 2024 with more than 6,000 hours in total. I would like to have Professor Alex Thái Đình Võ please stand up.
Thank you, Fa. Hello, everyone. I stand here today to mark the most solemn time of the year for the people of the Vietnamese diaspora, Black April, Tháng Tư Đen. It's not just a solemn day in history, it is a reminder of the day we lost everything, our homes, our livelihoods, and our beloved country. Operation Frequent Wind is a moment that stands as one of the most daring rescue missions in American history, considered by many to be the 30 most dangerous hours ever witnessed on board an aircraft carrier. The USS Midway Operation Frequent Wind was the last major U.S. military evacuation of Saigon. As the North Vietnamese Army closed in on the south, a U.S. Navy fleet was waiting offshore to rescue hundreds of thousands of refugees fleeing the homes, the only home that they have ever known. In just 30 hours, over 6,000 American and Vietnamese people were airlifted to safety. Hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese refugees would follow, most of them boarding the boats on uncharted waters, not knowing what waited on the other side of their journey. Today, 5 decades later, we are here not only to remember that operation, but to honor the lives it changed, the risks taken, and the legacy it left behind. This is not just a commemoration of history, it's a celebration of resilience, compassion, and the enduring bonds forged in one of our nation's most challenging hours. In Vietnam, the conditions under the communist regime grew more brutal. Many were imprisoned in concentration camps, losing not just their home, but their freedom, their dignity, and in too many cases, their lives. And now, as we reflect on the past 50 years since the fall of Saigon, we do so not just in solemn remembrance, but in celebration of what we have built together. From the ashes of war, we have risen. This is a painful day, a day of reflection, of remembrance, and for mourning. Over 58,000 United States soldiers and more than 250,000 Vietnamese soldiers gave their lives in sacrifice. These brave men and women made the ultimate sacrifice, and they deserve our continued and unwavering gratitude. We mourn not just those who fought for freedom, but the countless innocent lives lost during the war, those who perished at the hands of the communist regime in the aftermath, and the brave souls who were lost fleeing repression on boats. We have no choice but to honor those precious souls who were lost by giving the most we can to this life we have been blessed with. I share my own story with hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese Americans born to parents who fled our homeland with nothing. both people did not let the hardship of their journey define the life they built in America. We have built communities that is unparalleled in strength, prosperity, and the commitment to preserving our history. Today, we celebrate the trailblazers who have risen from this legacy, generals and admirals in the United States military, award-winning scientists, titans in business, educators, doctors, and artists. Our community has nurtured leaders in all walks of life, turning adversity into opportunity in just 5 short decades. Many of these people, children of refugees or refugees themselves, and they represent just a few of the countless contributions Vietnamese Americans continue to make across every sector of society. Our journey from tragedy to triumph has only just begun, and the story of our people will continue to inspire generations to come. As the first Vietnamese American to represent Orange County's Little Saigon community in Congress, I am humbled by the responsibility to carry this history forward. Little Saigon, home of the largest Vietnamese diaspora in the world, is a beacon of hope and a reminder of the resilience that has defined our community. Every day, I'm reminded of that no communist regime can rewrite our history. I urge you to join me in not only remembering the hardship we face, but also in celebrating the incredible resilience of the Vietnamese people. Let us honor the lives of those who sacrifice everything for freedom, the United States Army veterans and the veterans of the former Republic of Vietnam. Many of us recognition and gratitude that they so deeply deserve. Today, we stand together to say what should have been said long ago. Thank you and welcome home. I am forever indebted to you and your commitment to service, your courage, our commitment to the values that matter most: democracy, human rights, and the unshakable will to be free. Thank you so much.
And CEO of Net Result LLC, specializing in software solutions for government and corporations.
Và chúng tôi xin được giới thiệu tiếp ông Bùi Phát. Ông là cựu phó thị trưởng của thành phố Garden Grove và hiện nay là chủ tịch cộng đồng người Việt quốc gia miền Nam California. Một tràng pháo tay dành cho ông Bùi Phát.
Good afternoon. The Vietnamese American Federation thank you the USS Midway Museum for your effort to organize the 50th anniversary of the Operation Frequent Wind. Thousands of Vietnamese Americans from all walks of lives are here today to pay tribute to the men and women who have fought to defend freedom and to the men and women who have helped us escaping atrocity of the brutal Viet Cong. Let's be clear, Vietnam War is a just war of the noble people of South Vietnam, of the USA and its allies to defend freedom from the brutality of the communists. During Black April 50 years ago, the Operation Frequent Wind, under the leadership of Captain Lawrence Chambers, rescued some 6,000 Vietnamese as Saigon fell into the communist army. And in the decade that followed, more than 1 million Vietnamese dared the cruel sea to escape in small boats. More than half perished under the sea. In our 4,000 years of history, never, even in the gravest circumstance, never had we left our homeland. This is the president. And the Vietnamese are grateful people. We always cherish in our heart those who fought with us to defend freedom. We are forever indebted to theirs and their family sacrifice. Today, as chairman of the Vietnamese American Federation of Southern California, I would like to thank you, the veterans of the U.S. Armed Force and its allies, and also and especially to the Republic of Vietnam Armed Forces, of which more than 100,000 officers unjustly imprisoned in hard labor camps, many for as long as 20 years. Like Americans, Vietnamese are patriotic, resilient, grateful, and compassionate. We thank you, the American people, for receiving us with open arms and helping us rebuilding our life in this beautiful land. Not only have we survived the atrocity of the war, the gruesome sea, the horrors of the pirates, we have endured and excelled, and we have made significant contribution to this country and have given back to society. Tens of thousands of Vietnamese have enlisted in the U.S. Armed Force. Few have risen to the general rank, while others became scientists, doctors, engineers, and successful entrepreneurs. From humble workers to billionaires, we are giving back to this great land of the free. Black Aprils always bring back our sufferings. Why we have lost South Vietnam? History will attest that we have fought valiantly to defend our freedom. In April 1975, 5 generals and countless soldiers took their own lives rather than surrender to the communists. And after 50 years, the spirit of the veterans of South Vietnam continue to live on, and they continue to fight for good causes. And they are here today, more than a few hundred, with us on this deck of the USS Midway. The history also shows that wherever the Vietnamese people have freedom, the flag that represents the Vietnamese community is always the yellow flag of the Republic of South Vietnam. And we are longing to a day that flag will again fly in every corner of Vietnam. That day, all Vietnamese will have freedom, liberties, and justice. And we, Vietnamese Americans, cherish them here in this great land of the United States of America. Thank you very much, and may God bless America.
The VIP guests, right after the 5-minute video, you can go to the blue tent for. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was forced to leave my homeland on April 28, 1975, my heart was broken. Like more than 100,000 of my fellow countrymen, Saigon symbolized everything to me: my homeland, my family, my friend, my entire life. In my grief, I composed the song Saigon ơi vĩnh biệt, Farewell Saigon. The song was performed by Miss Khánh Ly on Pinga Paris by Night. And today, I would like to invite you to watch the video with Khánh Ly voice and have been edited with many of the image of Saigon before 1935 by Dr. Farley's son, Mr. Dean Lee, a 4th-class warrant officer of the U.S. Naval Academy. Kính thưa quý vị, khi tôi buộc phải rời xa quê hương vào những ngày cuối tháng 4 1975, cũng như quý vị, trái tim tôi tan vỡ, giống như hàng trăm ngàn người tị nạn khác đã có mặt ở đây vào thời điểm đó. Sài Gòn tượng trưng cho tất cả mọi thứ đối với tôi, quê hương tôi, gia đình tôi, bạn bè tôi, chiến hữu tôi, và cả cuộc đời tôi lớn và trưởng thành tại Sài Gòn. Trong nỗi cô đơn đó, tôi đã sáng tác nhạc phẩm Sài Gòn ơi vĩnh biệt và đã được nữ ca sĩ Khánh Ly trình bày trên một chương trình của Trung tâm Thúy Nga Paris by Night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Phạm Hà, who will be performing Mơ về quê tôi, Dreaming of My Homeland.
Trời âm u dần lan lan trùm không gian, quê hương ầm tiếng xóm thét lên kinh hoàng. Từ thôn quê, từ đông tây, miền ánh sáng cùng vang lên lời kêu than.
Now, please turn your attention once again to the screens. In April 1975, with the fall of Saigon imminent, the U.S. Navy sent more than 40 ships to help evacuate South Vietnamese refugees. During the 2 days Operation Frequent Wind, the USS Midway rescued more than 3,000 Vietnamese citizens and American officials. And some of those individuals who were saved by Midway are back on this flight deck 50 years later, commemorating with us today. This is the incredible story of courage, selflessness during one of the largest humanitarian operations in history.
Thank you, Thu Hà. Wow. Quý vị ơi, bây giờ mình tưởng tượng bây giờ mình có một tô phở chắc đã lắm ha. Yes. Okay, từ từ. Alright. And kế tiếp Lina xin giới thiệu luật sư Lauren Vương từ San Francisco. I'd like to introduce to you Attorney Lauren Vương. She's a former Vietnamese refugee and documentary subject of Finding the Virgo. She has dedicated her life to honoring the sacrifices of boat people and advocating for human rights and refugee communities worldwide. Please give a warm welcome to Ms. Lauren Vương.
The ocean gets mean. At first, the boat rises and falls. Each time, I feel as though my stomach has traveled up to my throat, only to drop again without warning into my bowels. My brother and I throw up again, and vomit covers both our chests. My little sister's body shakes silently next to me. Her fear is palpable, and it seeps through me like osmosis. Hot tears sting my eyes too, but I fight them back. Mommy said, if they find you, if you cry, they will find us and they will shoot your ba. I don't want them to shoot my ba, so I won't cry. I promise I won't make a single sound. I pray for the storms to stop, but the waves keep coming. When I look up at the sky, I only see dark, walls and walls of dark. The boat lists and tosses. At times, it feels as if we're upside down. Suddenly, we are engulfed in water, and panic grips me. I feel everything release. I'm so ashamed. Urine, feces, vomit. We are a stew of human excrement. Please, God, if I die, please let me die with dignity, wearing clean clothes, freshly bathed. Please don't let me die like this, hungry, filthy, terrified. I lose track of the days. Days and nights are all the same, dark and full of water. Water from the ocean, water from the sky. I will drown in water I cannot drink. Days no longer matter. I measure the passage of time between sips of water. I don't remember the last time we ate. I can only think of things relative to degrees of thirst and hunger. First, hunger was just a nebulous shadow. It lurks in a corner. As the shadow creeps closer, it takes on a more definitive shape. One night, it is a rope, dark and twisting. Winding its way around all my organs. It tightens and squeezes like a boa constrictor around an almost dead victim. I am flat and empty. I have no more strength, nothing left to try. I will close my eyes now. Maybe sleep will come and I can dream of food. Maybe someone will take pity and give me a sip of water. I see Mommy's eyes looking at me, and I try so hard to tell her, please don't worry, I'm just closing my eyes, just for a little while. Those are the memories that I have of being a 7-year-old child, confined to the cargo hold of a tiny wooden fishing boat escaping Vietnam. We were not so fortunate enough to leave with our compatriots in 1975. After 10 days lost at sea, we were out of food, water, and fuel. Death seemed almost a minute away. During that time, 120 ships passed us. None stopped. On that 10th day, in the last waning hours of hope, a ship called the LNG Virgo spotted us, and the captain ordered our rescue. I didn't speak English, but I vowed that one day I would find him and the Virgo's crew so that my parents can have their lifelong dream of saying 2 simple words: thank you. My search took 31 years and culminated in the documentary Finding the Virgo.
Majesties,
tuyệt vời. Kính thưa quý vị, đó là ban hợp xướng Ngàn Khơi.
Thank you to all the performers. This concludes our program today. Xin cảm ơn quý vị. Bây giờ chương trình đã chấm dứt.